What if I told you that the foods you reach for when you're trying to be healthy are the exact foods quietly wrecking your digestive system? Not junk food, not fast food, the granola bar in your bag right now, the fruit juice you had this morning, the yogurt you bought because it said probiotic on the label. In the next few minutes, you're going to find out why 5 of the most popular health foods on the planet are causing bloating, inflammation, fatigue, and slowly destroying the trillions of bacteria that keep you alive. And before you click off thinking this is about processed junk, stay with me, because number 3 on this list is in the fridge of almost every person who thinks they eat well. And number 1 is going to make you question everything. 5 foods, all considered healthy, all backed by billion-dollar marketing campaigns, and all doing real, measurable damage to your gut microbiome. Let's start with number 5, and work our way to the most surprising one. Number 5, fruit juice. Now before you say, I drink the natural stuff, no added sugar, hear me out, because this is where most people get tricked. Here's something that should stop you in your tracks. A standard 12-ounce glass of orange juice contains around 31 grams of sugar. You know what has 22 grams? The same amount of Coca-Cola. Let that sink in. But here's the real gut problem. And it's not just the sugar. When you eat a whole orange, you also get fiber. That fiber slows sugar absorption, feeds your good gut bacteria, and keeps your digestive system happy. When you drink juice, the fiber is gone. You're left with concentrated fructose hitting your gut like a wave. And what happens when excess fructose reaches your large intestine unabsorbed? The bacteria in your gut ferment it. That fermentation produces gas, causes bloating, and, over time, feeds the wrong kind of bacteria, tipping your microbiome out of balance. This imbalance is called gut dysbiosis, and researchers now link it to everything from low energy and brain fog to weakened immunity and even anxiety. The fix is simple. Eat the whole fruit, not the juice. Your gut bacteria need that fiber like they need oxygen. Number 4. And this one catches people off guard. You've just made yourself a beautiful salad. Spinach, cucumber, tomatoes, seeds. You're genuinely proud of yourself. And then, you reach for the bottle. Store-bought salad dressing. Now, most people assume that if the salad is healthy, the dressing is fine, but flip that bottle over and read the ingredients list. What you'll typically find: refined seed oils, added sugar, sometimes several teaspoons worth, preservatives, and something called emulsifiers. Here's where it gets really concerning. A 2025 preprint study found that dietary emulsifiers, specifically polysorbate 80, which is in a shocking number of store dressings, can actually kill intestinal cells and disrupt lipid metabolism, potentially promoting inflammatory disease. These aren't obscure chemicals in some lab. They're in bottles sitting in every supermarket, on every fridge shelf, next to the organic vegetables. Emulsifiers were designed to keep oil and water from separating in processed food, but your gut lining is coated in a protective mucus layer, and emulsifiers don't differentiate. They emulsify that too, thinning the very barrier that protects you from the outside world. A thinner gut lining means more inflammation, and more inflammation is the starting point for dozens of chronic diseases. The swap? Make your own. Olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, a pinch of salt. 30 seconds. 0 gut damage. Number 3, and I promised you this one would hit close to home. Protein bars. Not just any bars, the ones with the clean packaging, the ones that say no artificial ingredients on the front, the ones you feel good handing to your kids. Most protein bars on the market have the nutrient quality of a candy bar, at 3 times the price. And here's the specific ingredient that's doing the most gut damage: sugar alcohols. You'll see them listed as xylitol, sorbitol, maltitol, or erythritol. They're used instead of sugar because they have fewer calories and don't spike blood sugar. Sounds good, right? Here's what the label doesn't tell you. A 2025 study published in Frontiers in Microbiology found that certain synthetic sweeteners significantly reduced microbial diversity in the gut and actively enriched pathogenic bacterial families, the kind of bacteria you don't want more of. But sugar alcohols have their own problem on top of that. Your small intestine cannot fully absorb them, so they travel, mostly intact, into your large intestine, where your gut bacteria try to ferment them. The result? Gas, bloating, cramps, and loose stools. If you've ever eaten a protein bar and felt horrible an hour later, now you know why. The worst offenders are maltitol and sorbitol. If you still want a bar, look for ones with minimal ingredients: dates, oats, nuts, and nothing you can't pronounce. Number 2. And this one is especially frustrating because it's sold to you as a health food, with a medical-sounding name on the label, flavored yogurt. The marketing is genius. Contains live cultures, supports gut health, probiotic. You see those words, and your brain says, this is good for me. But here's the gut-wrenching truth. The probiotics in most flavored yogurts, if they've survived manufacturing and shelf storage, are vastly outnumbered by the sugar, artificial flavors, and food dyes that come along with them. We're talking 20 to 25 grams of added sugar in a single serving. That's 5 to 6 teaspoons of sugar in something marketed as a health food. And the artificial colors? In 2025, the FDA actually revoked the authorization for red dye number 3 in foods, after studies revealed concerning effects. That same dye, and others like it, appear in flavored yogurts, particularly the ones aimed at children. But there's a deeper problem. You're taking a food that, in its plain form, is genuinely excellent for your gut, and you're drowning it in sugar. And sugar actively feeds the harmful bacteria in your microbiome, undoing any benefit the live cultures might have offered. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Buy plain, full-fat yogurt. Add your own fruit, a drizzle of honey if you need it. The probiotics are the same, the gut damage is zero. And, number 1, the food that surprises people most, the one that feels the most wholesome, the most natural, the most earned, granola. I know, it looks like birdseed in the best possible way. It's got oats, nuts, seeds, dried fruit. It feels like something a nutritionist would eat while hiking in the Alps, but here's what's actually in most commercial granola and granola bars. High fructose corn syrup, refined sugars, hydrogenated oils, preservatives, and sometimes artificial flavors disguised behind the word natural flavoring on the label. A 2024 review in Nature Reviews Gastroenterology and Hepatology linked diets rich in ultra-processed foods. And yes, most commercial granola qualifies to increased risk of inflammatory bowel disease and colorectal cancer. The mechanism: direct alteration of the gut microbiome. Real food rots. Think about that for a second. A granola bar that can sit on a shelf for 18 months without growing mold is not doing so naturally. The preservatives keeping it fresh are also killing off your gut bacteria. And the high fructose corn syrup. Studies show it drives intestinal inflammation and promotes what researchers call leaky gut, where the gut wall becomes permeable, allowing toxins to enter the bloodstream and trigger systemic inflammation. The fix is one of the easiest on this list. Make your own. Rolled oats, mixed nuts, seeds, a tablespoon of honey or maple syrup, baked at a low heat, 20 minutes, no preservatives, no gut damage. And honestly, it tastes better. So, let's bring it all together. 5 foods that have been marketed to you as healthy, but are quietly disrupting your gut microbiome, feeding harmful bacteria, and triggering the kind of low-grade inflammation that researchers now link to fatigue, brain fog, weakened immunity, and long-term chronic disease. Number 5. Fruit juice. Removes fiber, floods your gut with fructose. Number 4. Store-bought salad dressing. Hidden sugar, refined oils, and emulsifiers that thin your gut lining. Number 3. Protein bars. Sugar alcohols that gut bacteria can't process, causing fermentation and dysbiosis. Number 2. Flavored yogurt. Probiotics drowning in sugar and artificial dyes. Number 1. Granola. Ultra-processed, loaded with high fructose corn syrup, and preserved in ways that actively kill your gut bacteria. Your gut contains roughly 38 trillion bacteria. These microbes regulate your immune system, produce neurotransmitters that affect your mood, and directly influence your risk of almost every major chronic disease. What you feed them, or what you starve them with, matters more than most people realize. The good news? Your microbiome is remarkably responsive to change. Studies show measurable improvements in gut bacteria composition can happen within just 48 to 72 hours of dietary changes. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight. Start with one swap: whole fruit instead of juice, plain yogurt instead of flavored, Real ingredients, instead of a label you need a chemistry degree to understand. If you found this useful, share it with someone who eats granola for breakfast, thinking they're being healthy, because they genuinely don't know. And if you want to go deeper on how to actually rebuild your gut microbiome, the specific foods, the timing, the supplements that are worth it and the ones that aren't. Satam papur. Coming next week. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you there.